Well, hello there.
Hello?
So I wanted to kind of correct or amend the video I put out. I didn't make any declarative statements. I was kind of saying I don't know, and I've gotten smart on it since that video. I've spent a lot of time going through videos.
A very good place to start. You and I both know the Faustus method takes time.
I watched Washington Gun Law's channel's video, which was annoying. He does that thing where you see those YouTube ads all the time where they go in the circle. They're like, this secret will help you do this. And this is this person who spent all this time discovering this secret. And we're going to teach you how. But first, do you know the secret of this? It's like that fucking loop where they just never tell you anything. He did that for like 4 minutes. I don't know the guy. I don't hate him or anything. It's just yeesh. So originally I was thinking, hey, with the amnesty period, they're going to give people SBRs because they can't take property from you, but you also have to pay the tax. So it's essentially trading the SBA 3 for the tax. No.
I'm kind of retarded.
That course of action has a 0.02%, probably smaller chance of ever happening. So then you have the more likely course of action, which Washington Gun Law and a few other people were saying. I talked to a lot of people behind the scenes. I talked to some YouTubers. I talked to people in my comments on the last video. There were a lot of Coke Man and a few other people when we were talking, kind of put it together properly. There's a lot of guys in my comments, and no shade at anybody, but they gave portions of the story. Then I watched Washington Gun Law's channel, and he did put it all together, and it makes complete sense. So when I do the 30,000 foot view and look down, that course of action makes way more sense, which is they're making changes and budgetary requests to the Form 1. So the ATF's like, hey, can we change this to Congress? So they're gonna get it. They also have Section 4 on the Form 1, which they're adding questions to, and then they're gonna have you send pictures and a picture of yourself, of your shit, to the ATF, which is a law enforcement agency. They're gonna use the $49.99, which we were all making fun of like idiots, and they're gonna grade your gun when you send in the picture, because people are gonna send pictures of this, or the pictures that they posted on the internet. They're not gonna send a stripped down gun. And I know some of you are just gonna strip it down, take pictures, send it in, and then put all the shit back on it, but there are no shortage of buddy fuckers in the gun community. So there's all these Karens and fucking whatever the male version is that are gonna be like, oh, you can't have that. How many range safety officers and boomer fuds and all this other shit are gonna walk in there and gonna be like, oh, that's not legal. How many people do that now? There's so many. There's a bunch of shit that's gonna happen, and you're essentially not gonna be able to use it, which is what they want. So they're not gonna give you the SBR. It's essentially a 3-step plan. They amend the Form 1 and add pistol-braced rifles. So you're stuck with that configuration. You're not getting an SBR, which means you're gonna lose, regardless of whether you register it or not, you're gonna lose the crossing state lines with a pistol, so that's out the window. Even though it's perfectly legal to do now, what's on the table in front of you is 100% legal and was purchased legally, assembled legally, and you paint within the lines for so long, and then they come along and be like, well, we're gonna change it, it's gonna be something else now. You can't have that anymore. That's what they're doing, which they don't have the legal ability to do. But they're gonna change the Form 1, add pistol-braced rifles, then they're gonna subject you to the question and answer thing, and then in the question and answer thing, it's gonna divert you to the Form 4999. So you're gonna fill out the Form 4999, you're gonna send your pictures, your face, your fingerprints, so they have no question about who's doing it. It's gonna go to them, they're gonna look at your shit and say, no, it doesn't qualify, you have an illegal SBR, you have this amount of time to destroy it or register it as an SBR, give us $200 now, or go to jail. Which, as an executive agency, this is called Chevron deference, which is why the EPA versus West Virginia case was so important and why combating Chevron deference is such a big deal. So You need to get on the horn with your reps immediately. You need to write them about this and say this is unconstitutional, it's unlawful, and it goes against EPA versus West Virginia, the Chevron deference decision. Make sure you put that in there. We also need to get with whichever gun group is going to take it up. I think it's NAGR. I don't know who approved that name. Like, y'all didn't watch South Park?
Huh?
But anyways, I think they're the one filing the challenges for the pistol brace. I think FPC and GOA are doing other things right now, so they let NAGR pick it up. So if they're doing it, send them money to their legal fund, not to their main fund. And we need to get this moving. So I was completely wrong, and I was dumb as fuck for thinking that at any point the ATF would do something honorable, even if it's not legal, in letting people trade pistol braces for a tax stamp. At least they would be offering you compensation for what they're trying to take. But they're not doing that. And it would almost be dollar for dollar about what it's supposed to be. But they're not going to do that. They're going to have you say it's okay to free register your SBA 3 equipped AR pistol. Then they're going to say, oh no, the SBA 3 itself is like 3 points and you can only have 4. Oh no, you also have an LPVO. Or oh no, you have this on it. It's a wrap. This is a trap. This is 100%.
It's a trap!
And I should have known from the start this is what they're gonna do. So this isn't legal advice. I'm not an attorney. I have no jurisdiction over you. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life or the decisions you should make with your property and your family. But what I am telling you is,
it's a trap!
I was completely wrong, and anyone in the comments that thought it might have been the way I said it in the last video, it isn't. I was misled and other people were misled, and the rule isn't even out yet. So we don't know for 100% sure, but think about the ATF, think about their history, and think about the people they've been working with this administration, and then assess the likelihood of them doing the honorable thing, because it's non-existent. The ATF are going to people's homes without warrants right now, and essentially like, hey, we know you did this, which is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And then they try to weasel shit out of you. So I have no confidence in the ATF. I have no confidence in the IRS. I don't think that they can competently or effectively carry out their duties, especially in a law enforcement capacity. And this is an abuse of Chevron deference in the first place, which has been heard by the Supreme Court in the EPA versus West Virginia case. And all of this that I'm saying doesn't matter until we get this stuff defeated. So we can feel as good about all this as we want. We can talk like this, like we're some sovereign citizen in some courtroom talking to the judge. And it's completely correct. It's completely factual. But it doesn't matter because they're going to do it anyway. So we have to go to court. We have to engage our representatives to try and stop it through congressional hearings and oversight, and we have to get with the gun groups to fight this stuff because it's crazy. And y'all are gonna hate each other a lot when you start seeing all these blue falcons come out of the woodwork that are in the gun community, where you were looking at that guy before like you could trust him, and now he's the one calling the ATF on you. So everyone wants to talk about how important it is for the gun community and all this stuff. Half of y'all are narking on everybody else. There's going to be people that watch any video that someone had a pistol brace rifle in and they're going to narc to the ATF. Or don't think the Brady campaign won't do it as soon as the shit passes. So there's going to be a big push, and you have to make a decision on what you're going to do. So if you have one SBR lower, you can have every single upper. And I know a lot of people are going to go that route, or there's going to be a lot of people trying to sell these things. But we're done with boat accidents. We're done trying to cop out. We're done with all that stuff.
No! No!
I will not sacrifice the Enterprise. We've made too many compromises already. Too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back. They assimilate entire worlds, and we fall back. Not again. The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
It's time to dig our heels in, fight this on all fronts, through Congress and the Senate, through legal action, and putting things in place to ensure that our rights aren't compromised like this again. So it's a three-pronged approach. They're hitting us with a three-pronged approach. We got to hit them back with a three-pronged approach. And once this is over, we need more oversight on the ATF. We need to start pulling their powers away. We need to start doing all this stuff, push that legislation. So you have to vote and take these people out that are putting stuff like this forward so that they know there's accountability. And y'all feel about how you would with voting. Voting does matter. You have to vote. You have to. They win when you stay home. So we need to get it together. We need to stay focused. We need to get this done. As always, thanks for watching. Don't fall for ATF traps, and take care out there.
It's a trap!